Among the 6 category of the fundamental rights, the first one is right to equality. The right to equality includes equality before law. Everyone should be equal in front of law. No one is special. Equality before law, equal protection of law, then prohibition of discrimination. We should stop the discrimination, the separation on grounds for the people. Like now, before there was a separation among this religion, caste, color, low caste, higher caste, like that. There should not be any separation like that. All should be treated equally. Yes, discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Equality of opportunity in matters of public employments. When after our studies, when we get a job of employment, there should be, everyone should treat equally. They should not give a job to their particular group or caste, religion and all. Abolition of untouchability and abolition of titles. Yes, there was untouchability in India long back, years ago. What happens, lower caste people are treated very unfair by the higher caste people. They never, lower caste people should not come in the way when they are walking and all. We should not touch them like that. So that separation should not be there anywhere. Everyone are treated equally. That is right to equality. No separation, no discrimination among the people in terms of this religion, caste, color, etc. Right to freedom. So next is right to freedom. Equality is everyone are equal in front of law. Everyone are treated equally. No separation in terms of caste, religion, color, etc. Now right to freedom. Right to freedom includes freedom of speech. We should have freedom of speech, expression, freedom to form associations or unions. We have freedom to form any union, any group, association. We should have freedom to express our thought, freedom to move freely throughout India. Wherever we go in India, we should have the freedom to go, freedom to reside and settle any part of India. Yes, in India there are different states, number of 28 states. Wherever we go, we can settle. There should not be any, no one should block us from that. Yes, freedom to practice any profession and right against exploitation. We should have the freedom to practice any profession, the profession which we like. If we want to become a lawyer, a teacher, a doctor, whatever profession, a political leader, whatever, we should have freedom to choose that. We should have the freedom to practice that. And right against exploitation. Exploitation means taking advantage of people, someone, a group of people, and make profit from them. That should not be happen. Yes, that is right to freedom. We should have freedom to think, to express everything, to travel along throughout the country, India, to choose our professions, to practice that, to move freely, to reside anywhere in any part of India, to settle there. There should not be any problem for the people of India. That is right to freedom. Then right against exploitation. Next is right against exploitation. No one should exploit others in terms of money or take advantage of others to take profit from them. So right against exploitation. Right against exploitation includes prohibition of any form of forced labor. We should stop the people to force others for doing the work. Example, small children should not do any work. The age of them is now to go to school and learn. Some people forcefully, they compel the small children to do the work. Because they don't want to pay high salary or high full money to them. No. Yes, so they make some small people, poor children to do the job forcefully. It should not happen. That is exploitation actually. Child labor we say. Taking advantage of that small child. At this age, that child age is to learn. After all, she or he is a small child. Yes. So children below 14 years of age cannot be made to work in factories or mines or in any other hazardous employment, means risky, dangerous job. Children should not do. under 14 years of age, no one have right to take children in the company or in the factory to do the work, ask them to do the work. No one have right to force them to do the work. Children under 14 years of age, their age is to learn now. So that is child labor, making them to do the work forcefully, compelling them to do the work. Children under 14 years of age, it is called child labor. We should not allow that. It should be prohibited, prevented. Okay. Yes, so that is right against exploitation. Next, right to freedom of religion. Yes, right to freedom of religion means what? Right to freedom of religion. The next one, right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion includes freedom of conscience. It's a person's moral sense of right and wrong. That is his conscience. His moral sense is there to know what is right and what is wrong. So that is that freedom should be there for the people. Then freedom to profess any religion. He can practice, he can follow any religion according to his choice. Freedom to manage religious affairs. What all religious practices, celebrations, that freedom should be. Freedom as to payment of taxes for promotion of any particular religion. So this is a right to freedom of religion according to the religion. So everyone has to choose their religion and they have the right to follow the practices, the customs of the religion. So no one should stop them from doing that. That is right to freedom of religion. Next is, yes, so next is cultural and educational rights. What are cultural and educational rights? Yes, some cultural and educational rights. So we are learning about fundamental rights, isn't it? Yes, cultural and educational rights. Cultural and educational rights. The cultural and educational rights include the protection of the interest of the minorities, the people, those who are less in number, their protection, their safety. That is actually meant by cultural and educational rights. Right to minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. The people, some area, maybe the particular group, they will be the minority. The group will be very less. So we should give protection to those group. Right to minorities to establish, to arrange and to manage the education institution. We should give right of freedom to them. For the minorities, the people, those who are very less in the community, the society, to that group we should give protection. We should give permission to them to arrange and to manage the educational institutions. Then right to constitutional remedies. Any citizen can move to the Supreme Court of India for the enforcement of his fundamental rights. So any citizen of India who is living in India, any member, any citizen, he has the right to go to the Supreme Court of India for the giving the complaints of fundamental rights. He has the right to charge a case. Okay, so that is right to constitutional remedies. Right to constitutional remedies. Constitutional remedies. So anyone have the right to, all the citizens of India have the right to go to Supreme Court of India for the enforcement of his fundamental rights, for ensuring, for the complaining about his fundamental rights. So these are the main 6 fundamental rights, 6 categories. Right to equality means it includes everyone are equal before law, in front of the law, protection of law, no separation on the basis of caste, religion, color, etc. Everyone should treat as equal opportunity should be given to the employment, public employment, no untouchability, nothing. Right to freedom, all should have freedom of speech and expression, freedom of thinking, freedom of forming unions, freedom to move freely throughout the India, to settle anywhere in any parts of India, to practice any profession. And right against exploitation, we have no right to exploit anyone here in India. anyone here, because child labor is strictly prohibited. No one should force the child to do the work under 14 years of age. These children should have the right to learn, not to work. So we should not exploit others. Yes, right to freedom, right against exploitation. Then right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion means they have the feeling of conscience. They have the that moral sense of what is right and wrong. That freedom should be there for them. They should, which religion they should follow, what all things they should do in that religion, the customs, the tradition, or that the practice that follow in that. Let them follow. It is their freedom to choose that. So that right to freedom of religion. Then cultural and educational rights. Protection to the minorities. We should give protection to them. We should give chance to them to arrange and manage the education institutions. Then right to constitutional remedies. And any citizen of India can move to the Supreme Court of India for the enforcement of the fundamental rights, of his fundamental rights. That's about our fundamental rights. Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. That's about our fundamental rights. So our constitution describes about our fundamental rights and duties. So fundamental rights we have seen. Next we will see about the fundamental duties of a citizen. Okay? Yes. So children, next is our fundamental duties. Our fundamental duties. So far we learned about our fundamental rights. So next is our fundamental duties. So the Constitution also describes our duties, fundamental duties and rights of a citizen. So fundamental rights we have learned, now it's fundamental duties. A citizen should have duties and responsibilities for his country. We all should have that duty and responsibility for our country. He should try to do the public good. Yes, we should make the public always good. We should control his conduct on the light of the good of his country. Always we have to control our behavior for the good of the country. Should exercise his rights with proper judgment and obey the law of road. Yes, we should perform our duties, our rights with proper judgment. We should know what is right and what is wrong. We should follow all the rules and regulations of the country when we are traveling on the road, while we are riding a bicycle, riding a vehicle. We should have license for that. We should wear helmet. We should follow all the rules and regulations of the country. He should try to build himself to do the best service of the country. How much best service we can do for the country, that much we have to give for the country. He should have patriotism and fellow feeling. Yes, patriotism means that love, that feeling towards the country. Yes, that love should be there towards the country. How our leaders used to be. They are really patriotic, isn't it? They died for our country. They sacrificed their life for their country. At least we should have that sense of feeling of that love towards our country. And fellow feeling, each and every individual should have that feeling of love towards each other. As a citizen, he should know his responsibility to discharge his duty. We are all citizens of India, so as a citizen of India, we should know what all duties we need to do, how to perform it, how to exercise our duties so well. Fundamental duties, actually it's defined as the moral obligations of all citizens to help promote the spirit of patriotism and to uphold the unity of India and concern the individuals and the nation. Fundamental duties are defined as the moral obligations of all citizens. It's a duty of all citizens to promote the spirit of patriotism. We have to promote that spirit of patriotism among ourselves, among others, and uphold. We have to support the unity of India and concern that love, care should be there to the individuals of the nation. That is actually our fundamental duties. Yes, so what are the fundamental duties? Yes, first one, abide by the Constitution and respect our national flag and national anthem. Yes, how we got this freedom, you know. Many leaders sacrificed their life for the country. Because of the hard struggle, they struggled a lot for the freedom of our country. Because of them we got the freedom, so we should respect our national flag, national anthem. Okay, yes. Then follow the ideals of the freedom struggle. Yes, follow the ideals of the freedom struggle. That's what I was telling. It is the duty of every citizen to admire the leaders of our ideals of the freedom struggle. That every citizen should have that spirit of brotherhood, the unity, that fraternity, non-violence. Yes, fraternity is the feeling of brotherhood. During the Indian independence, how the leaders were there. Okay, so they paid a lot for getting the freedom for our country. So that feeling should be there for us. So we should always remember the struggle and sacrifice of our freedom fighters, and we should follow them. That is following the ideals of freedom struggle. We should always remember the sacrifice and also the struggle that they had when for getting the freedom of our country, the freedom fighters. So that all we should remember and we should follow them, and we should respect our national anthem, our national flag. It should be respected by each and every citizen of India. So many people died for our country, for our nation. So we should have that feeling towards them. So and respect the national anthem, national flag, and we should follow the ideals of the freedom struggle. Then protect sovereignty and integrity of the India. What is this? Protecting the sovereignty and integrity of India means it's one of the important duties of a citizen. Okay, actually we should in order to uphold, to support this interest and integrity of India, we should tell about our great leaders. They suffered a lot. What all things they have done for our country to get the freedom. So, and we must perform these duties to protect our sovereignty, the power and the integrity of our country. The participation should be there for everything from our side. Let us protect the sovereignty and integrity of India means that actually we should protect our country from all the power. Means like we should participate in everything. Integrity of India, we should participate in this duty of our all citizen to refrain from other activities, and we should participate here for the unity of India. That participation should be there. Defend the country and render national services when called upon. Yes, if there is any attack or any danger that facing our country faces, that time if they need any help from us, we should render that service to our country, and we should feel pride that we are happy that ready to offer our national service whenever they call us. We should be so happy for that. It's not only the duties of soldiers or police and all to serve the country. It is the duty of each and every citizen to serve our country when our country need us. That is, defend the country and render national service when called upon. Not only the armed force and all, military, navy, army, air force. It's all duty of each and every one of us to give the service to the country whenever our country need it. Then spirit of common brotherhood. It's that I told you already, that spirit should be there between, the feeling of brotherhood, that unity should be there always in between all of us. We should respect other people also, give and take, respect policy should be there. Then preserve composite culture, and India is rich in its culture, rich in his culture means like we have many monuments, art, tombs, festivals, etc. So India is rich in its heritage. India's heritage, yes, we have already learned about that, isn't it? Yes, so we have such rich and composite culture. It makes Indians feel so proud. So it's our duty to preserve that, to protect that. Okay, to protect these monuments, to protect these historic places. It's our duty. Then Preserve natural environment. Natural environment means forest, lake, rivers, wildlife. These are our natural environment. It's our duty to protect it. We should not do any damage to this property. We should not do anything that harms the environment. It is our duty to protect our national environment, forest, wildlife, rivers, etc. We have to protect them from the pollution, the damage, etc. Then develop scientific timber. Scientific timber means actually we need this for our one's development. Scientific temperament is always needed for one's development actually. That spirit of whenever we hear any news nowadays, many fake news are spreading here and there, isn't it? Yes, and people easily they believe this blindly. Instead of believing that, we should have that thing, like instead of believing it, we should think about that, whether should believe or not. You have the capacity to think. So that is develop scientific timber, means you have to develop that quality in you. Instead of believing all this fake news and all, you have to think about it and you have to take a correct decision. Then safeguard public property. Yes, our property, public property. We should not create any damage to the public property. We should protect it from harm. It's our duty to protect all our public property. We should live in peace and maintain that peace in our society. So it's our duty to protect other public property. Just like our own property, we should protect it. Then strive for excellence. We should do everything for good. Whatever good things we can do, we should do that. Hard working, we should hard work a lot. In every area we should have hard work, and we should try for the development of the nation. That is the hard work we should do. Strive for the excellence, for extreme good thing. Whatever extreme good things we can do, that we have to do. We should hard work for our country, for the development of our country. Okay.